I'm here to talk about an incident that happened last year and started technically on December 17th and went for about 4 or 5 days from the 17th. So the 23rd, probably. I don't know. 23rd or 24th. I can't remember dates. I had to look back to remember dates. But on December 17th, I had opened up to my mother about some of the things that were going on within my mental state, and after telling her a bunch of stuff, she was immediately freaked out and didn't think that I should be allowed to sleep alone at for a little bit at least. She wanted me to sleep in her bed with her for a night and see what was happening with my mental state and see if I was okay and other stuff like that. December 18th rolled around and I woke up. I wasn't moving out of bed. I was already late for school, and I just generally felt like I couldn't do anything at the moment. And my mom was still freaked out because she didn't know how to handle the situation. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to say. And eventually she called up my guidance counselor. And my guidance counselor suggested, my school guidance counselor suggested to her that I be taken into the hospital since I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. It was mainly for the purpose of there's no, easy way to get a psychiatrist in my area. Or a good one at least. There's no easy way to do that, so my guidance counselor suggested that if I need to get in at the moment, then I go to the hospital because that was the fastest way to get into a psychiatrist. And my mom followed what she said, and she took me to the hospital. So I have things to talk about written on this phone. It's not like a script, it's more like just an outline. The drive in to the hospital felt like I don't remember too much of it. I just kind of was along for the ride at certain points. I don't think I really realized the gravity of the situation, and I didn't really realize the fact that I would be in the hospital for at least a week. On the ride there, I texted my best friend to make sure she knew that I was okay and that I was going into the ER. I didn't know how long I'd be there, and I mostly just kind of listened to music on the car ride. I put on K-pop music and just kind of sad bopped. I don't know if you know how to sad bop, but I sad bopped. And I got to the ER, I was brought in, my mom explained the situation, and they took my phone. That was the first thing that they did. They took my phone, and then they basically put a hand on my back, and we're like, okay, we're gonna take you into the to the mental health portion of the ER or something like that. It wasn't the inpatient place. It was just a room, an area where they kept the people who were waiting to go into certain mental health programs or something like that. But they were like, okay, once we get there, we need to get a blood test from you because we need to see if you have any iron deficiencies or something. That's what's causing this. And that was when I started freaking out. My mom made fun of me once for that. She made a joke about self-harm and was like, well, how can you self-harm and not getting shots or something? And I was like, at a point, a woman came in with some clothes. I don't know if it was before or after I got my blood taken, and was like, put these on. We don't want you having any metal on your clothes or anything that could be possibly dangerous. They're like, especially your shoes. You can keep your socks, but take off everything else. And I was like, okay, well, shit. I don't know if any other woman out there can relate to this, but I hate not wearing a bra. So, I forgot to ask her before she left the room because I was wearing like a sports bra, one that didn't have like a metal clasp on it or anything. When I was in there, they asked me to order some food, like at lunch or something like that. That almost never came. So the bed was open in the inpatient place because I had signed something, or I had agreed to it, and like some social workers came in my room and they were like, do you self-harm? Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you, like, is your mother abusive? Like, they asked me, like, those questions, some of them in nicer terms than that, but, like, they just needed to get, like, an overall sense of, like, why the hell I was here. I hadn't tried to kill myself, but it wasn't that night that I tried to kill myself. I tried to kill myself earlier. Well, it's not like I tried to kill myself, I wanted to kill myself. Like, a lot. If anything, what I would have done would have given me, bad permanent damage to my liver. But I wouldn't have died. I found, like, a bottle of pills, and I was, like, this far away from, like, just downing the whole goddamn thing. But, there was one blue pill sitting on top of all, like, the red, like, it was ibuprofen. That's why I'm saying, like, it wouldn't have killed me. It would have given me bad, like, internal damage, but it wouldn't have killed me. I saw this, like, one blue pill on top of it, and I was just like, that's kind of fucking weird. And then I was like, wait, I'm trying to fucking kill myself. This isn't right. And so, like, I put the bottle of pills down, and I was just like, well, shit. What do I do now? And so I ended up texting my best friend about it, and she said that she would feel a whole lot better if I threw that away, along with the things that I was using for self-harm. So I ended up recording a short video to send to her of me literally. I showed a view of my trash can, which was kind of disgusting. And like I showed, like, the pills are down there right now. I'm not, like, cause I told her, like, even if I told you that I would, I probably wouldn't have thrown it away. And she was just like, well, I don't know if she was the one who suggested I take a video of it, or if I was the one who suggested, but I gave video footage of the fact that the pills were in the trash can. And then, I don't know what the hell that was. I just kind of threw it away, and then I was just like, there you go. I don't remember too much about, like, what was said in the video. I just remember what I did, but, like, that was one of the times that I, like, I guess had an ideation to kill myself, but didn't try. Another time was 2 years ago. I had a group of friends, and I wouldn't say that all of them were assholes. Some of them could be assholes at certain points, but I kind of left on a very bad note twice. So I left initially because I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself, and I don't want someone having a like freaking out over the fact that I'm gonna kill myself right now, so I'm just gonna, like, leave the server and not tell anyone else. And I wrote a suicide note, which was stupid, and I made shitty jokes in it, because, you know, like, me out here not wanting to accept reality and thinking that, like, you know, jokes are a good way of just getting out my, like, pain and emotional hurt. I don't know. There's a window right next to my bed, and I was thinking about, like, jumping out of it. Unless I would have landed, like, perfectly, like, I probably wouldn't have died. But the reason that I didn't even jump out was because there was a fucking spider on my goddamn windowsill. And it really goes to show how immediately after I left, pretty much all of them, like, just removed me from their lives. There's only one of them who still talks to me, and that is infrequent, and I don't know, he's pretty cool. So that was past times that I've tried to kill myself. I figured I might as well talk about that here too. It's not even written on the ideas list, it's just something that I kind of wanted to get out because there's not really any other good time for me to talk about that. So yeah, the bed was open in the inpatient place. I wasn't in the inpatient place. I wouldn't be there for a while. But the bed was open, and they were just like, I don't know, apparently something the social workers had to fucking do. But the bed that was in that like ER place, it was so goddamn uncomfortable. I remembered like laying there like flipping around a bunch because it was like impossible to be comfortable. Like there was all this plastic stuff in the room, and I like the blankets like were just, they were thin, and on my bed I have 2 like very thick blankets that I sleep with even in the summertime because I like the feeling of weight, just like it's very comforting. So I ordered a weighted blanket for Christmas, so that the summer I won't fucking die because I have 2 very soft and fluffy blankets that I have to sleep with in order to get comfortable. I would just have a weighted blanket. I was pretty hungry at this point, which probably meant that it was past lunchtime. I don't know if I slept at all. I can't remember I don't remember when I was conscious, when I was asleep. There was no clock in the room from what I can remember. Maybe there was and I just wasn't looking at it. There might have been one above my doorway and I just wasn't looking at it. For the most part, I just laid down and looked around. I didn't know if I was allowed to leave the room. If I was allowed to leave the room that I was in. I figured I could, but I didn't know like what to do. At a point there was a lot of yelling and screaming outside of my room, so I got scared and didn't want to leave. My mom came in at a point, and I was just like, oh, thank God, human contact. I had pretty much gone stir crazy in the time of like, I don't know how long it was, because I went in at like 8 probably, and if I was hungry it was probably 12, so I was there for 3 hours. She was like, where's your food? And I was like, I don't know, I ordered it, and it never came. She was like, wait, Chloe, tell someone. And I was like, I didn't know who to talk to. No one was coming in the room. I didn't know if I was allowed to leave. And she was like, I think it was, yeah. So before she came in, at a point, like one of the people came in, she was like, you have a TV up there, do you want to watch something? And I was like, okay. And she was just like, okay, I'll get you the remote. And I was like, okay. So I turned on Family Feud and I watched it without my glasses on, and probably cried at a point. Notified the family, your grandparents might come in at a certain point and talk to you, but we don't know yet. Time will tell. And I didn't give a shit, really. I mean, I'm happy that my family knew that I was okay, but I just wanted my best friend to know that I was fucking okay. Jesus Christ. So I ended up, my mom got me food, and it's sitting there in front of me. I'm like hunched over because I'm not wearing a bra and it feels uncomfortable to sit up without a bra on. Like hunched over, and I'm just like, she was just like, do you want to talk about something? And I'm like, can I just talk about some of the songs I'm listening to? And she's like, yeah, sure. And so I started ranting about an EXO song called Eve, and like, kind of, it's a bit of an inspirational song, and I took a lot of good emotions out of that song, and I just get songs like that really just kind of inspire me. And I just kind of like kept like talking and just like sort of like half hopeful voice, just kind of like shaking my head, like eating grapes or something that was on my plate, just talking about EXO the Eve. And then I was just like, there's another song, it's called Pinwheel. I talked to you about it before briefly, and I don't think that you were listening. I started talking about Pinwheel, a 17 song. And I was just like, I think the metaphor is just so beautiful. Like, wordplay, just like, the idea of the song, just like, the lyrics are just very meaningful. And I pretty much talked like that, and she was just like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. And I was like, yeah, it's nice. So at a point I got like a big burst of energy, and my mom like flopped down on the bed that I was supposed to be laying on, and I just sort of started like walking around the room that I was in. I don't know, I think that was actually a little bit earlier that this happened, but she was like, what if we get you a cat? And I'm just like, you're fucking allergic to cats. The whole idea of getting me a cat was, if she got me a cat, I'd have to stay around and take care of it. My mom is very allergic to cats, like deathly allergic. And financial situation with cats, they're a bit of a drain to your financial situation, and I didn't want to put my mom through, you know, more financial stress because, like, God. Like, at that point, I think I really realized, like, the gravity of I'm in a hospital for at least a week. Some people had been in here for, like, a month or 2 months. I had to, at a point, I was just kind of, like, saying my mind to my mom. It's just like, I'm not gonna kill myself. What? I'm just, like, I want to, but I'm not going to. It's almost impossible to do it. I just wanted out of there. I wanted to get out. I wanted to talk to my best friend. I wanted to listen to music. I was, like, so dead set on getting out because I couldn't listen to music in there. And I wouldn't have been able to listen to, and I wouldn't be able to listen to music for the next week. Dead ass midnight rolls around, and the mental hospital, like, someone comes in. They're just like, okay, grab something. I don't know, because I think they had me hold, like, some paperwork or something like that, because it was, like, an older woman, and she was just like, let's take you down to the mental hospital. So on the way there, it was really nice because it was pretty cold, and I just, like, felt like a tingle in my skin, like, I'm getting help. Like, sure, I was pretty against being there for, like, a week, but I was getting help that I needed there. When we got there, like, this guy who, like, I remember taking one look at him and thinking, he looks like fucking Hawkeye from MASH, but he doesn't. They asked me some of the same questions, some new questions, and some stuff about getting a flu shot, which the guy talked me into. Like, they didn't really explain anything to me. They didn't explain how the system worked. They're like, okay, we'll talk about this when you wake up, and talk about it to me when we woke up. So, I went to sleep after I took a shower. The shower was pretty much just me staring at the wall and being like, said I look like an angel. Like, that was one of the things I can, like, remember, is I, like, we had a discussion about, like, our first impressions of each other, and I was just like, you kind of looked, like, you look cool. You absolutely looked like a little, like, a pure angel, and I was worried that I was going to corrupt you, and I was just like, I have made videos on reading 17 smut fan fiction. I don't think that it can get any worse. The second day was pretty much just people starting to warm up to me and the idea of me being there, and me warming up to the idea of being in a hospital. It was actually technically the first day, but it was pretty much the second day because I was in the hospital for 2 days now. So we were given these styrofoam cups every day to, like, get drinks at a room, and the entire fucking time I was in there, I drank Barq's root beer. The entire time. Like, I barely had water, I barely had orange juice. I think I had apple juice that came with my meal once. I don't remember. But, the food was actually pretty good. For a hospital, the food was pretty good. I can't remember too much about the entire visit. Mostly just comes back to me in blurbs. We had certain craft days, we had certain exercise days. Not like days specifically, like events, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, but there were certain things that were just never fucking explained to me that I wish would have been explained to me sooner, so I didn't have to figure it out on my own and seem like an absolute idiot once it all clicked. God. Like social anxiety, depression, cognitive distortions, which was the main things that I was diagnosed with, which took 3 days of me being in there. Because on the second day that I was in there, I think it was the second day, could have been the third day, a social worker came in and he, like, asked me all the stuff about my family and, like, my stepdad, my mom. I don't even really have a stepdad, it was just my mom's boyfriend. Like, a day later, the psychologist brought me and was like, you have depression. And I'm just like, tell me something I don't fucking know. Like, I had just assumed that I had it. I wasn't going around telling people, hey, I have depression. But it was pretty fucking obvious when I was sad most of the time, and, like, I wanted to kill myself a lot. Like, sure, you can be suicidal without being depressed, but I was just kind of like, I'm probably depressed, it's just that I don't have, like, you know, a psychologist to tell me that I was, and that was fine. I didn't need people to know that I had, like, a stamp on me that just said depressed. That didn't matter to me. But it was nice to know once I did know, so that I could, like, fucking get help with it instead of just thinking that I did and shit like that. Some of the workers didn't really seem to give a shit. And other ones were assholes. There was a few nice ones, and I'm so glad that there was some nice ones. But otherwise, there was just complete fucking assholes in there. Shitty jokes, like things that you wouldn't want to hear if you just tried to kill yourself and now you're in a mental hospital trying to get better. Like, I think someone made fun of mentally ill people when I was in there. Which put me which made me like very shocked. I wasn't expecting it. Like, you're telling me that someone who's working in a mental ward has the audacity to make fun of mentally ill people and fun of at least 10 of those children. Or like 5. I don't remember how many of us there were. He basically told me that I didn't need medicine, which I think is still true. I don't think I need medicine, and I was glad that he didn't try and give me medicine. Another reason that he said that I shouldn't try right now is because he was trying to get everyone out by... He was trying to get everybody out by Christmas, because, like, you know, it's supposed to be a happy holiday that you spend with your family, and I was very excited for that. I'm mostly just because I wanted to spend time with my best friend, God. Second or third day, my brother gave me a book. He gave me the book Dune, which is actually on my bookshelf somewhere up there right now. I read the first book over the course of the week, or the 4 days, or however long I was in there. He also gave me Howl's Moving Castle. I totally didn't let someone else read that book, even though I told it wasn't this book. Basically, let's forget about that happening. Let's just forget about it. I told one of the people who I had basically become friends with in there, like, I'm worried because, like, I don't know how many family members are gonna be here. I don't know how many people are gonna, like, come in and try to talk to me. And I was just kind of worried about that. I was like, Jesus Christ. It's the fucking, like, dude, is the fucking, like, Trojan horse gonna come in here and, like, blast in? So I was kind of, like, nervous, because unlike a few other people in there, I had a whole lot of family members who, unfortunately, give a shit about me. Not unfortunately as in, like, I don't want them to give a shit about me. It's just kind of, like, I kind of felt awkward, like, there's some people in there who didn't get visited by their family at all. The person who I told this to was just like, it's like a plane gonna crash in from Florida and just be like, all of Chloe's family members get off the plane and they're just like, hey Chloe, here to see you. She was pretty much right on that assumption. Before we get into the other stuff, my dad called me every day, and that actually made me cry, because like, I cry in a good way, because, like, I knew that my dad struggled with this sort of stuff, but I feared asking him about it because I didn't know if it was, like, a bad subject, if it was a touchy subject. I just was afraid to ask him about certain things like this. Like, that was so reassuring, and I just felt great because I love my dad and he is a great person. Because, like, it's like a visiting hour or something, and you can talk to 2 family members at once over 10 minutes. I got to see 12 people in an hour for 10 minutes, which was not enough time. The first people in my family, like my mom's side of the family that came in were my grandparents. We just sort of talked about, like, what I was learning in this place, and I was just like, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. And, my brothers, we'll get to that in a second, actually. Austin is my brother, and, Talia is his girlfriend, and I think they're a great couple. And, it's gonna suck if later on in the future, we're gonna look back at this video, and somehow they've broken up. I don't think they'll ever break up, because they're just like they're a power couple. They're like a power chord in the guitar. It's something that you just, like, it's just, yes, this is right. This is something that is going right in the universe. My cousin, Taylor, came in. She was just like, I have a tangerine, if you want it, and I'm just like, where the fuck? And then, Austin and Talia came in, and Austin had just gotten a tattoo at the time, and most of the time that I was in there, I was talking to Talia, and one of my friends in the mental hospital was talking to him about his tattoo, and they were just like, so what is that? And he's like, it's a demon. And they're like, oh, that's fucking sick. I was talking to Talia, who is working on getting a psych degree, so hopefully she takes something out of this and isn't like some of the goddamn people that I had experiences with in that mental hospital. I can't tell you exact incidents. I just remember them being complete fucking assholes who didn't give a shit. Like, there was like 1 or 2, maybe 3 people who I thought were actually cool. But other than that, I don't know. I listened to Post Malone a lot, because they turned music on the TV, but it was always on like the rock channel, like the kids music. It was like pretty much kids music channel, but it was like rock, like Rockstar. That's what I meant. Like Rockstar played so much. And at the end of it, we all knew the lyrics to it, so like at a point we were all just like shouting, "I've been popping pills and I feel like a rock star." Like, it was fucking amazing. One of the people had a headache when we were doing that. I kind of felt bad for them. So eventually my time with those people were up, and then when I was walking them out, they were like, walk into this different room with your last few family members so that you can talk to them in like a private area. Because it was my mom and my brother Brady this time, not Austin. Brady and my mom sat across from me, and I felt extremely touched. As much as I love my brothers, I never really get to have too many serious talks with them about anything. And I saw cry, and that was kind of like emotional for me. That was like, holy shit. I talked to him about how I was reading Dune that he sent in to me. My mom was like, you should read those books that Tim sent in for you, which were books about like how to overcome your mental health through Jesus. And I was like, no thanks, we've been over this, I'm a fucking atheist. It's another day where I got like basically promoted in the system, and they let me go outside, like just like walk around the area as long as I was back within like an hour. And we went to a McDonald's, which was basically like right next to it. I got some chicken nuggies, and my mom had brought me a frappuccino, like a large green tea frappuccino, because fucking matcha is my shit. The things I was really diagnosed with: depression, cognitive distortion, social anxiety, kind of anxiety, but on a much lesser scale than social anxiety, and like something else that was like fancy, like a fancy word for something. Cognitive distortions is when you just perceive the world in a different way than other people do. Bitch. I was ready to get out, like genuinely. Like at this point, they had done all for me that I thought that they could be doing. I wanted fucking like KFC, Frank's Pizza, shit like that. I wanted that shit. I was so fucking hungry for something that wasn't the same 2 things that I kept ordering. I just wanted out. I'm done here. Like, so when they released me, my mom and my brother were there to pick me up, and I was just like, I just felt this immense like weight off my chest. Like, I'm getting out. I'm finally done here, and that just felt so good. And like one of the specific things, since I didn't have my phone this entire time, so my mom was like, I have your phone right here, and she like handed my phone to me, and like my hand like immediately like fell like a little bit, and I was just like, that's heavy. She's like, its weight hasn't changed. And I was like, shit. Because I hadn't been holding it for like a week. Thankfully, it's returned back to its normal weight in my hands. At this point, you're like, yeah, I've gotten out of the mental hospital. Everything should be going better, right? It's not that I was thinking that, like, oh, the world revolves around me. Everything that, you know, I'm doing is much, like, far superior to, like, anything else that's going on in the world. No. Just fucking immediately, like, at the pretty much the second that I got back, everything went to shit. I got back, my friend Quinn had kept texting me, like, get the fuck on League while I was in the hospital, because I had told him. I was just like, I just got out of the fucking mental hospital, what do you want from me? And I don't remember if I told him the servers that I was in at the time that I was back, but, okay, on December 18th, Jonghyun Jonghyun, a rapper from the band SHINee, killed himself on the same day that I was admitted to the fucking ER. Could that be any fucking worse timed? And like, I was ready to get back on schoolwork. I was ready to get back on all that stuff. But then fucking... So I actually came back home to like 100+ messages from like Discord, and some of them were from my best friend, a lot of them were. And I was just talking about that, and I didn't find his name in the sea of that, so I had to ask like who was it that died, and she was just like, Jonghyun, I've been an emotional mess for like a few days, and I was like, I'm just fucking so have I, but not on the fucking scale that you have been apparently. We were going to a Mexican place at the time to get dinner or lunch or something like that. I remembered like being like, Mom, someone died the same day that I was admitted, and she was like, shit. And I was like, yeah, fucking shit is right. Before I was writing stuff down for what to talk about in the video, because I knew that I would get off track very quick unless I wrote things down to keep myself on track. I had gone through some of our old chat logs because I was feeling very depressed at the time, like yesterday night, and I was pretty much, I wanted death. Like, just officially, I was done with life. I feel like I had experienced everything life would ever have to offer for me, and I was just done with it. Some of our old chat logs, just trying to find like positive encouragement, and I found some of the messages that I've received from her, and I just remember thinking like, wow, she's such a good friend. And then like, I came across that sort of stuff, and I realized how like kind of shit it would be for her, like if I just disappeared one day, you know. So now I feel like I can't kill myself, otherwise that'll happen. I had a very bad day yesterday. I had group therapy and, you know, vocal lessons yesterday, which is fine and wonderful, and I love that, but like, I still felt like shit at the end of the night. I basically just put on So Dancing in the Dark on repeat, and then at a point I tried to listen to Hey There Delilah to try and feel better. I started bawling my eyes out. I think the thought that if I could have just waited another day, that I would have been there to support her, made me feel pretty guilty about it. But also, she basically said herself, like, if I was there, it would have been kind of worse because I wouldn't have known what to say or how to help, and like, I wouldn't have known what to do. I'm not an expert at dealing with this sort of shit. I'm just a sad bitch. Not a bad bitch. I'm a sad bitch. So, I love my best friend. She's amazing. I give her all of the beans that I have within my soul. All of them. The baked, the fried. Do they fry beans? Green, red, black, brown beans. Otherwise, there was one other incident that happened afterwards from the aftermath. I was forced to go to group therapy. And it wasn't, I kind of agreed to it, but I was scared when I was walking up. I was like, everyone in there, because this is kids from the same school that I'm going to, and I thought that everyone in my school was a pretentious asshole, and I just got used to the fact that like everyone here is a piece of shit. I'm gonna hate all of them. But I got in, and I ended up loving being there so much. Like, it was just amazing. It was just amazing. Like, I pretty much immediately felt like right at home, like with those people, and I'm still going to the same group therapy to this day. It's amazing, it's wonderful, very happy about it. Just under an hour at this point. Thank you for listening to me rant about the bullshit that's happened in my life. I figured it was something that I needed to talk about. We're getting into the month of December right about now. And I'm worried that something similar is gonna happen. But I'm also just kind of worried that, like, I'm kind of also using it as an excuse, so if I miss a day of uploading content, then like, my mental state is just, that's the reason why my mental state can't fucking handle it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being a captive audience, and I hope you have a wonderful day, month, year, whatever, how long until we talk next.